Greetings, Space Cadets, and welcome to 3, 2, 1, blast off! Are you ready to buckle up? Great, because here's mission number 2. During blast off, Chip will be showing us the challenges of traveling through space. But not only that, he's taking us on an out-of-this-world voyage. A voyage through the book of James. A voyage to see if you're ready to put your faith to the test. Here's Chip now.
Greetings, Space Cadets. I have a question. Why don't aliens eat clowns? Answer in 3, 2, 1, because they taste funny. Ha ha. Ha ha. Enough clowning around. Alien attacks are serious business. Astronauts often wear bulky gloves that make grabbing small things difficult. If an alien ringworm attaches to your face, you must be able to wiggle it free without your hands. Listen carefully to my instructions if you want to succeed. Scrunch your face and use your tongue to move the worm down your face. Good luck.
That's a great idea, Chip. Me and Miss Glenna are going to take our space alien worms and we're going to put them on our forehead and see which one of us can get it in our mouth first. Here's your alien and mine. Let's turn on our training music and see who the champion is. I'm the champion!
Nice work, Space Cadets. You look ridiculous, but you survived the alien attack. Not only did you listen to my instructions, you followed them as well. Your next training mission is to discover why listening to and following instructions is so important. The answer is found in the Ultimate Instruction Manual, the Bible. Look up James chapter 1 verses 22 through 24, then listen to the story of King Josiah from 2 Kings chapter 22 to complete the mission.
Thanks, Chip. Let's go ahead and do what he said. Let's look up the book of James chapter 1 and let's read those verses 22 through 24. Don't just listen to the word. You fool yourself if you do that. You must do what it says. Suppose someone listens to the word but doesn't do what it says. Then they are like a person who looks at their face in the mirror, and after looking at themselves, they leave and then they forget what they look like. Wonder what those verses are talking about. Maybe the story of King Josiah will help us understand them better.
The Bible we use today has 66 books in it, but during the Old Testament time, before Jesus was born, there was only 5 books. The books were called Pinocchio, Rapunzel, Mulan, The Lion King, and Cinderella. No, they were Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those first 5 books of the Bible are now known as the Book of the Law.
The Book of Law was God's story of love for his people. But it also was instructions on how to live the way God wanted them to live that made him happy. But there was just one major problem. Nobody was doing what it said. After King David died, the kings after him were making horrible decisions. They were doing wicked things, and they were leading the Israelites to do wicked things as well. Not only were they not doing what the book of the law said, they eventually stopped reading it too. So what they did was they thought if they pushed and shoved the Bible in a corner where nobody could see it, then they wouldn't have to worry about it. and they couldn't find it for a very long, long time.
Until God raised up a king named Josiah, who took over at the age of 8. Can you imagine what kind of rules he declared? No homework, candy for dinner, and staying up all night. No way, that's not what he declared. He didn't declare any of those things at all. Instead, Josiah loved God and did what was right all the time.
One day, King Josiah paid some workers to make some repairs to God's temple. While the workers were making repairs, the high priest found the book of the law. You know, the one that they hid years and years before? When the high priest brought Josiah the book, Josiah heard God's word for the first time. When he finished reading, King Josiah realized that he had the whole nation of Israel had been sinning against God. And he was so upset that he screamed and he decided to throw things. He was so upset because he realized that they were sinning against God. So King Josiah was so upset that he tore his robe as a sign, and he grieved and he wept in front of God. He said to the high priest, "Go, ask the Lord for advice. The Lord is very angry with us. That's because our people who have lived before us didn't obey the words of this book." That's in 2 Kings 22, verse 13.
When the Lord responded, he said, "I'm going to no longer allow video games, sleepovers with friends, and dessert after dinner." No way, that's not what he said. He said, "I am going to bring horrible trouble to this land." But everybody except for King Josiah, because he listened and did what God said and was very sorry. He promised that King Josiah would be the only one to spare the horrible trouble. Now that you've heard this story, let's see if you were listening. I have 4 questions that I'm going to ask you, and I want you to comment the right answers down below, okay? Question number 1. The book of James says to not only listen to God's word, but to do what also? A, do what it says. B, tell others about it. C, write it down. D, think about it day and night. Tick-tock, tick-tock. A, to do what it says. Number 2, the first 5 books of the Bible are sometimes called what? A, the book of God. B, the book of love. C, the book of the Lord. D, the book of law. Tick-tock, tick-tock. D, the book of the law. Okay, number 3, how old was Josiah when he became king? A, 7, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 10? Tick-tock, tick-tock. B, 8. Last question. What did Josiah do when he discovered that he had been sinning against God? A, he tore his royal robe. B, he wept. C, he listened to God's word and did what it said. Or D, all of the above. Tick-tock, tick-tock. D, all of the above. Great job, y'all.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed your training mission. God's word is special and should not be shoved in a hidden corner. We should read the Bible and know what it says. But more than that, we should do what it says. The Bible helps us live a life that is pleasing to God, and it shows us how to have life in heaven with Jesus. Until next time, Space Cadets, be like the king, do the right thing.
I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Come back next week for mission number 3. Before you go, here's 2 questions. What was your favorite part of today's story? And why do you think the Israelites stopped doing what God said to do?